URT, who are we? URT. This is the URT. You are the URT. We are the URT. Big up, United Real Therapy people. Welcome to you, the channel. Welcome back. Match reaction. Manchester United versus Everton. 4-0. Our highest goal scoring league game in a while. Yeah, very interesting game. Bit helter-skelter game because at times it didn't look like that. It didn't look like a 4-0. But we'll take it. For me, the best second half control game in the league this season. Big up to everybody watching. Big up to everybody who's in the panel. Luwani, I'll start with you. What did you think of the game?
I'm still recovering from the scoreline and the way we managed the game to get that scoreline. So the first thing I would like to say is some of us have been looking forward to this game because the past two games, it looked like when we play Ipswich, the excuse that people have been making is that Ipswich was not a proper Premier League opposition because they just got promoted and they sit in the relegation zone. Now, Everton had been in the league since its inception in 1992, and they have never been relegated. So it's fair to say that they are a proper Premier League team. So I was really looking forward to how we are going to deploy the system against them. We fared well against the 4-4-2 low block of Sundice, and then when they tried to press us high, it didn't bother us too much. I know there's a lot of things to bring out, but the first thing I would like to say is there's a lot of positive, there's a lot of negative. Some of us can try to focus on the positive or the negative. I like to do a little bit of both. Now, since the Amorim hype train is a real thing, I like to go with the positive first. I really like Amorim as a manager. And the reason because of that is that he didn't came in with a preconceived notion that this player or this player does not fit his system, right? He came in and he clearly will give everybody a clean slate, and that's what I like about him. He didn't made it about himself. He made it about the system, and that's what's good about it. Now, the system in itself, I have my doubt, but after today, I realized actually it's a system that's player friendly and also player dependable. So the way we played it today gave me a little hope. I'm saying player friendly because within the formation he can still give different instruction and to try to fit the player with their skill set, depending on their skill set, how they move within the formation. Now, the second positive I would like to go about is our backline in terms of Lisandro Martinez. I know Jarvis has been talking about how important it is to have a ball-playing center back in order to work well with our first phase of play. And I could see what he was saying today in evidence because of the passing range of Lisandro Martinez and the way he was able to pick up the runners, and he was able to pick up our wingers with his passing range. Is something that was much needed. The second positive I'd like to bring up was is Amad Diallo. I'm not sure how Amad couldn't get a game on the Ten Hag, and this need to be, he got sent on loan. And this doesn't even need to be investigated. It need to be prosecuted. And we can see what this young man brings to the team, what a talent he is, and in general, what the future look like with him in the team. So, well-deserved scoreline today, and looking forward to see more of what Amorim has to offer. But I'm really, really glad of the performance today. Now the negative, if I will say, if I don't want to be too picky, it looked like you say, it's a bit of a scattered game because our 210 in Bruno and Rashford were not doing the job primarily because when they drop into the midfield, Rashford couldn't the concept of the W that Jarvis talked about. those bounce passes. Rashford they couldn't really bounce a pass off him, because every time he tried to do the 1-2, the ball start bubbling, and our whole attack will break down. It's the same thing with Bruno, kind of, to a certain extent. They were both dropping in the right position, but it looked like they don't really have the skills to play that position properly. Bruno more so on a half turn. And now it looked like the manager realized that eventually, and then changed it and inverted the W. You can see the W at the beginning have like Rashford and Bruno coming in the midfield, and then after that he switched it upside down, and Rashford become a runner, and then Zirkzee was dropping down to need things. And with Zirkzee's ability to control the ball or play those first time passes onto the wings or onto the run of Rashford, we were able to stretch them better. So that's something I was really happy about. I think we can definitely do better once the players start getting used to the instructions that the manager is giving. So that's the way I saw the game today.
Me, I have no negatives to say for this game, because the negatives, the manager already addressed them, right? The manager has already come out to say that the result flatters us. He has already come out to admit that he considers himself lucky, and that the performance today doesn't really merit the scoreline that we got. So that sounds to me like a manager that knows exactly, what he's talking about and what is going on. And for me, I love everything that I'm seeing. A lot of this stuff has been priced in, from my perspective, because it's the third game with a brand new system. So it's understandable that, some of the stuff is still rough around the edges. Some of the players aren't too familiar with the instructions or what to do. But I like what I'm seeing from the manager. I like the fact that he's trying to get everybody to buy in. He's trying to make every single player feel like they are part of something, essentially, because that's how you get a team going. This whole idea of knowing a best 11, quote unquote, or having a set 11 players. I think that's kind of like a myth. You want to have a whole squad, essentially. People who are all willing to fight. And the manager seems interested in using the squad, and I really appreciate that about him. So, more grease to his elbow. I'm very confident that, like, as long as he retains that attitude of, okay, everybody's part of the team. There are no favorites. You either perform or you're not in the squad. And even if you're not performing, you still get a chance to show me what you can do. Because there are many players who, many people wanted to write off. And I love the fact that the manager gave everybody a clean slate. So yeah, the manager admitted himself that, Everton deserved more from the game than they got. So I'm seeing some of the comments here. I don't know what people are watching or the kind of attitude that people have, but 4-0 is a good scoreline. But then again, if a manager is willing to come out and say, hey, the performance could be better, I couldn't ask for more from Amorim, basically, or from the team. So I love everything that I'm seeing. I love the energy from Ahmad. I love the fact that Rashford is scoring goals. I love the fact that Zirkzee scored a few goals today. That would be wonderful for his confidence. I like the fact that we're rotating players. It's too bad that we're going to miss Martinez against Arsenal. But I like the fact that Luke Shaw is back. Maguire is back. Even the way the manager spoke about Malacia, like, I love everything I'm hearing from him. So yeah, no, for me, this game, I have no negatives at all. It's the discomfort we saw with the formation, I think should be expected, because it's a new system and it's just game three. They've had barely a few training sessions. So, as far as where the lock that we need to buy time, right? He said to buy time, you need to win games. So the lock that we need to buy time, we're getting, and honestly, I couldn't ask for more. I couldn't ask for more than that.
Mbaye, can I just say, all our hearts goes out to Eduardo Bovi. He collapsed in the game, Inter versus Fiorentina, and he was taken to intensive care. So all our thoughts are with him, and to his loved ones, his family, and we hope that he pulls through.
Yeah.
Yeah, no player goes on the pitch to be carried out to be in intensive care. No fan does. So yeah, we stand in total solidarity and love with Eduardo Bovey. Mumbai, how did you see the game? Because it was a bit of a mad game. At times, Everton were bopping us in that first half an hour. And then we got the goal. I think the goals changed the game for my liking. And then the rest was history. We took it away from them. But it's probably the best controlled second half of the season in the Premier League I've seen at Old Trafford this season.
Yeah, evening, guys. Evening, everybody in in the chat. I thought today this is a system that I've always advocated. I've always liked it. I think the progress within the system, yeah, there is still work to do. Of course, there is. That is, goes without saying. But we've come quite a long way in a very short space of time. With today's performance, I looked at a team that had a fluidity about it, that had really good passages of play. It feels like the individual characteristics of the players, they're not completely subservient to the system. There's a little bit of a freedom in the way that they're playing. There's some excellent performances. I think I agree with Luani about Martinez. That's the second game he finds that ball over the top where our left back is getting in behind. Very difficult to pick that up, This system, if it starts really functioning, we're going to be a hard team to pick up, and it gives us different ways of opening teams up. You've got the balls like Martinez plays. We've seen those runs in behind. Bruno was found. Diallo was found against Ipswich today. So this is a really good string to the bow. I think the interplay in the middle of the park is very good. I think the control of the game is improved. It will improve a lot more. It's key to the success of Amorim's plan. We had large spells of very, very good possession. They didn't make it easy. They didn't come to press us where, at the beginning of the game, they went up to the halfway line, stayed compact. And I was thinking, what are we going to do to get through? And we created our moments. Martinez again was key in one of those instances. I think, yeah, Amad Diallo, you wonder what the hell was going on with Eric Ten Hag. What did he miss? What did he see? This guy has been fantastic for Sunderland. You can see when he played, he deserved to play. And now he's really, really producing. I really like him and Rashford.
Mumbai, 1 second. 1 second, Mumbai. Super Soda says, guys, I was once given a serious religious speech using thrilling hand gestures and violent stomping. I farted. Just so you guys should know that. Thank you so much, Soda, Super Soda.
Yeah, as I was saying, the performance today that really caught my eye was Zirkzee. I think he's not a natural Hoyland forward. I think his speed of thought, when he's on the ball, the quality is quite high. And I thought today there was so much good work from him, especially when he dropped late runs. I really, really I'm impressed with him. I thought his contribution to the game today was excellent. And to be honest, man, it was. There's still work to be done. Yes, we did get caught a few times. Maybe a little bit better quality from Everton. You might have, well, shot on target at least, and Onana might have been called into question. But on the whole, as a performance, that is one of the best performances I've seen in a very, very, very long time. But the best part about what I'm seeing at United at the moment is Eric Ten Hag was very individual player dependent.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of rotation that is happening in this squad, there is no drop off in the quality of the way the team is functioning as a whole. And this is one thing that is very, very impressive and is a very, very good thing to have. So if that can continue.
For me, that's about belief now, right? I think Amorim has gone out of his way to show the players, even the so-called squad of bench players, to show them that he cares, to show them that he considers them a part of the team, to show them that he considers them to be professional players who, when called, should be willing to step up to the plate. And I think they're repaying that faith in him. He clearly, everybody has talked about the energy, quote unquote, that he brings to the dressing room. I think that's a large part of it, right? Use your squad. Like, don't tell me you have a best 11 or a starting 11 that if somebody is injured, then, you know, we're fucked. Use your squad. And I love the fact that he makes subs as well. I think he made like 3 subs or 4 subs before the 70th
that's what I
minute.
was saying, but you kept telling me Eric Ten knows what he's doing. He didn't know what he was doing.
Well,
Big up, Saeed.
You
were defending Eric Ten Hag, so
I don't want to
No, it's not about rehashing. Remember when I was moaning in 7 months in, and I was like, what is he doing burning these players out, trying to win these 4 trophies? Today, they still try to, the journalists are still trying to pressure Amorim. Amorim keeps telling them, listen, I'm not asked about results, I'm looking for performances. Because that's what's more important to me right now than anything else.
But part of the critique of Ten Hag was that he didn't know his best starting 11, right? That was one of the issues that we have. And I'm saying
he did know.
And I'm saying
let's not sully this with mention of Eric Ten Hag.
There is. Some of you guys make it out like, oh yeah, this is great. Listen, there will be a time where he will have a settled kind of 15, 16, yeah? But at the moment, he's testing out the squad. Saeed, you were there, bro.
Man. We got a chat. We got everyone.
You went in early after I saw you after the protest. Big up to those people who
big up.
I want to address some of the retards in the chat, right? Because it was Nuruddin that brought up Ten Hag, not me. So just take note and try and listen.
Don't call them retards, man. They're just people making.
All right, so they're slow. Okay, sorry.
Okay, no problem. Saeed, how did you see it?
Yeah, no, listen, man. I think Amorim's explained it well, man. You know what I mean? It's performances over results. But first half wasn't great. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know what I mean? It wasn't great. The midfield were getting dominated. Manu and Casemiro were very, very passive in that midfield, especially Manu. Manu was poor, man. He looked leggy. He looked a bit rusty. And fair enough, his first game, so you expect that. But they kept getting in the pockets, man. You know, Decore, McNeil, Ndiaye, he looks a player. Him, I can't lie. He looks good. But yeah,
he's
they were getting
best player, I think.
Yeah, Beto had opportunity, man. I think Beto, if that was McNeil on his left foot, I think that would have went in, you know. I can't lie.
Good night, Vienna.
I think the first goal is what we needed. Had they scored the first goal, they would have sat back and camped in. So it could have been different. But listen, we got our fortunate, you know, opportunity. Rashford deflected, you know. I don't know if it was going in or not, or whether Pickford would have said.
Nah, it was going in. He was going in. I watched it back.
Was it going in?
Yeah, he was going into the corner. He actually placed that side foot into the corner.
Oh, okay. Fair enough then. So big up Rashford. Second goal was lovely. Amad Diallo. But all in all, I can't lie to you, man. I think for me, I enjoyed the second half, bro. You know, shout out to all the pie eaters and the hot chocolate eaters, you know what I mean, in the second half, because they missed the goal, man. You know what I mean? And this is what I mean. It's a different era now, man. Before Ten Hag, I could understand it, but now they played themselves, mate. Lovely football, man. Zirkzee, who I'm sure we'll talk about as well. Zirkzee, Ahmad, Rashford, brilliant goal. And I can't lie to you, we could have got more than 4, you know. Yeah. 4 was flattering
to them. Was flattering to them.
Flattering to them. You know what I mean? I've not got really a bad word. Yeah. I've not really got a bad word to say about anyone. Like I said, Combine was a bit rusty, but that's about it. Like everyone else was on top form, bro. Like even the subs when they came off, there's not really a drop off. Kept continuing. Yeah, man. Listen, man. 4-0, Olays, and we're singing Christmas songs and whatever. You know, the crowd is singing, and they're singing songs about, you know, legends. You know, it goes well, man. When we're doing that, we're not moaning. So I can't complain. Life is good. And
when was the last time we saw United win 4-0 at Old Trafford?
We haven't under Ten Hag, though.
In the Premier League, we didn't see that.
Yeah, we wouldn't. And ultimately, you know what I mean? I think for me, the crowd deserved that, man. They deserved a bit of goals. And the match reaction was saying +1. I don't know why I said +1, you know. It's +4. You know what I mean? Maybe that's how much I don't know. Like,
because we're stuck on +1. Because we've not gone out of +1 for a year and a half. That's why.
That's what I'm saying. I've got programmed in me that I've got +1. You know what I mean? But listen, man, I'm very happy. The manager's keeping us grounded, which is good. You know what I mean? We love to see that. And yeah, man, I think for me, lots of performances we can talk about. And just like I said to you, good to see everyone just happy and smiling, Old Trafford. You know what I mean? And yeah,
Tell me
life.
about Ahmed, Said. Listen, tell me about Ahmed. How
Oh,
criminal was Eric Ten Hag trying to suppress this kid? Not
yeah.
playing. Please
But
explain.
listen, you know what it was for me? Yeah, it was more the fact that people said that he couldn't get into the team because maybe he doesn't work hard enough like the others, or maybe he doesn't track back. That's that because everyone knew his talent, right? And I thought the situation which I was talking to a lot of people with, yeah, but you know, sometimes he doesn't work hard physically, it's not all there and whatnot. Like that's what I was being told. So then I was like, cool, say no more. Next thing you know, he's the one pressing. He's the one getting us fouls. He's the one that's getting us up the pitch. Like, and his work rate when he hasn't got the ball, maybe that's the reason why he's playing right wing back guys as well. Like, that's why, you know, us as fans here, we're fans and we're not coaches. Like people, even me, I was like, yo, man, get Amad Diallo in the 10. But I can see why he wants him in that right wing back role. For now, obviously, because of the numbers that we've got, but ultimately, he's got a lot of freedom on that side, you know. Like, we're looking at it differently. We're looking at Amad Diallo thinking, but we want him closer to the net. Bro, I can't lie. This one gives him the amount of times he's free and he can directly run at players. It's not really, people look at this position as a defensive position. It's not. It's actually an attacking position, and he's eating right now nicely. So may it continue, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, Amorim has changed the perspective of players, the demand. Guys, all our forwards have scored 2 goals now. You know, it's crazy. All of our forwards, bro, have scored 2+ goals under Amorim, you know what I mean? Which is something that we haven't seen. You know what I mean? Everyone getting a brace. You know, before it was Højlund. Today it was Rashford and Zirkzee. You know what I mean? Garnacho got one before the other day. So, you know what I mean? Like, he's doing his job, man. He's getting everyone to feel like you've got a sense of responsibility. You can't just sit there and just not expect anything. Today, Zirkzee was running and linking up play well, and he was doing a lot of things, man. So
For me, I think that's the most important part for me, making everybody feel like they're responsible, because it would have been easy. It would have been too easy to just continue playing Højlund today. That would have been the easier path to go. Play Højlund, play Ugarte in midfield, you know, stick to what worked against Bodo Glimt. But like rotating the squad, making Zirkzee feel like he's a part of the team, getting him some confidence, because these goals will breed confidence. I love that from Amorim. I love the fact that Rashford talked about how, you know, now Amorim has brought this good vibe basically into the squad. It's a new system. Everybody wants to play for him. Everybody wants to play basically in any position that he puts them in. So I think it's hard to quantify, but that element, that good feeling, that positivity that, you know, Amorim brought into the dressing room, that charisma, I think it's something that, you know, can be underrated. I'm really glad for Ahmad as well, as Said is saying. I think that right back position, or the right wing back, I think Amorim likes to use a defender on the left side and an attacking winger on the right side. So we might see alternation between Ahmad and Anthony on that right wing back position. But yeah, now from me, the whole team is nothing but positives, honestly. As you've all been saying, Amorim is working really hard. I like how brave he is. He makes substitutions. I like the fact that Bruno was subbed off today, despite the fact that we saw him with some ice. But yeah, a manager who's willing to make brave calls, willing to make subs, you know, when he needs to, willing to rotate the team, willing to keep everybody honest, because these are all professional players. I know we like to think of our squad players as not good enough, but for the most part, our squad is full of quality professional players, and they should all be able to put in performances when we need them. So yeah, honestly, for me, it's really Amorim himself is a person that, you know, is proven to be a good manager, as somebody with his head screwed on properly.
I like the thing. I like the thing with vibes, you know, but vibes can only last as far as your next victory. And when we spoken about Ahmad, I was on record saying last time that your most dangerous player on the pitch have to be in the final third. I would respectfully like to take that back and maybe rephrase it in saying maybe your most dangerous player on the pitch need to have space.
Yes.
And that's exactly what happened. Ahmad got the winger, the burden of creativity in this system lie on the wing back. And obviously, Amorim is doing what he's paid to do. and he obviously knows better than we do. And he put Ahmad in a lot of space, and Ahmad is able to operate and show us what he can do. The attention I want to bring up is yes, I did say the system is player friendly, but is also player dependent. The reason I'm saying it's player dependent is because we want to see how when this system is firing on all cylinders, what does it look like? Or when this system is faced with elite opposition, how does it fare? Now, if I say for this system to fire on all cylinders,
We're going to find out on Wednesday.
we're gonna find out on Wednesday. That for sure. Now, for this
Just
system,
don't get beat on Wednesday. For me, it's simple. Don't get beat. Make it difficult for them.
Yeah, no. Trust me. Yeah, you're right.
we shall see.
Just make it
We shall
difficult.
see. The reason I don't want to sound like negative, but if I look at the team, right, even if we look at Zirkzee today, Zirkzee is a profile of striker that's dropping in the middle and knitting things up, finding runners, but he's still not versatile enough. In terms of he's a little bit heavy on his feet. He can run on the shoulder, and that can come in as because opposition study. They will study your player, the defense, the opposition defense. They will study your player on an individual level, and they will try to neutralize him. So they can.
No, but Luani, just
Mhm.
sorry to interrupt, but you know the beautiful thing about Amorim so far is that no one can predict the starting lineup. No one can predict who's going to show up where, who's going to play where, in what role, doing what exactly.
Yeah,
So I
but
think
this
that makes
is
it hard
right?
for opponents. Yeah.
But this is it. We have so far in the striker role, we have featured Zirkzee or Rasmus, and both of them is almost as if what the first one is lacking, the other one has it, and vice versa, right? Rasmus can run on the shoulder, but he doesn't have the link play that Zirkzee have. And then Zirkzee cannot run on the shoulder, but he does have the link play. What I'm saying is that in the future, looking to if the system should be firing on all cylinder, we have to be looking for a striker that can do both. So that will give us at least the versatility in terms of when we come against the tougher team, we can stretch them out or we can drop down the middle if they load up the midfield. Now the DM position, right? We have featured in the DM position Bruno, and we have featured Bruno, Kobe, Casemiro,
Ugarte.
Everton, and Ugarte. None of them, from what I've seen so far, has the complete profile to play that position. Right now, we're still chopping and changing, right? If we're looking for this system to fire on all cylinders, we also have to think about that position in terms of, you see Kobe Minor today. I know he has some fitness issues. He just came back from injury, but he doesn't have the athleticism to cover the ground when he take the ball on a half turn. He can get away and cover the ground. Okay, and Casemiro can find the pass. He's a destroyer by nature, but he's not a ball carrier. Bruno is not a ball carrier neither. He can take the ball on the half turn, and he's only as good as a good passer. We know what Ugarte is. He's not a ball carrier. He's a destroyer, pure and simple, right? Destroyer, 5-yard pass. But if we're looking at other teams, I'm looking at a game today. Like I'll give you an example today. When you were City and Liverpool today, right? Gravenberg went for a ball, and then Foden followed him. Foden came out of that challenge with a yellow card. Why? Because Gravenberg was the right profile. He went there, he took the ball on a half turn and eat him up, literally. So better opposition will have better player in that six. Like either it's Gravenberg, either it's Baleba, Casedo, or whoever. We know them. So we need in that position somebody who's a little bit more complete in terms of athletic, technical, good on the half turn. And I'm not saying right now is growing pains, but in the future is something that need to be taken into consideration.
Oh no, I like
agree.
the fact that when Amorim
Is
talked
anybody
about
disputing?
Everton,
1 second, Sean. Is anybody disputing Ahmad being man of the match today, even though he didn't score? Is anybody disputing?
No, I don't think we can dispute
Not
that.
even close.
yeah,
No,
no,
Not even close.
He was involved in all. He was involved in three goals.
4, 3 out of 4.
Yeah, 3 out of 4. Yeah, he was involved in. So I mean, he set up 2. Yeah, he was just
That's the
phenomenal
other
in
one.
terms of his pressing and the way he wants to play. But it's really interesting. Looking at
Just go back to the Zirkzee one. Did you see the comments about Ten Hag about what he said about Zirkzee? He said he's going to deploy him as a more false nine, but he need people around him to work his profiles. This is the problem with United fans here. We this is why I gave Højlund a bit of time and leeway, and I'm like, you know what? If you could get right players around him and stop him from maybe having a lot of touches and just being in the box, that's where we get the best out of him. Not telling him to get the ball from the halfway line, turn and do whatever. Same with Zirkzee. In that false nine role, just flick it over the top. You seen that? One touch and then pass it to Ahmad and Rashford who can run off. And that's what the manager's saying, basically saying, yo, I just need players around him that can work and suit his game. And that's what he did today. That's why he chose Bruno and because Garnacho sometimes doesn't pass. And with Zirkzee, you need to pass to him. You know, because today, let's be honest, guys, yeah, and this is no dig at Garnacho, but would have Garnacho have passed for that goal against for Zirkzee? Would he have passed? So this is what I'm trying to say. It's about profiles, guys.
Probably not. And I think I like the fact that Amorim, when he talked about the game today, he talked specifically about Everton's strengths and Everton's weaknesses, and talked about the fact that he selected a team specifically to address it, right? So I think in another game, you might see Garnacho in the 10. In a different game, you see a different profile. And I don't mind that, right? I don't need Garnacho to be Ahmad. I don't need Ahmad to be Garnacho either. Both of them have strengths and weaknesses. And what we want from a manager is the wisdom and the foresight to pick the right player for the right game, right? Or make the sub at the right time. So yeah, even with Zirkzee, I think once we had more control over the game, you started to see more and more. And for me, that control came from Mino dropping deeper to partner with Ugarte, right? And once Martinez and Mazraoui started taking their time more on the ball, I think we regained control, and you can see Zirkzee really get into the game. I think by that time also we had already scored 3 goals, so Everton really didn't have much to play for. But yeah, I'm pretty confident against Arsenal, right? I don't expect us to lose. For me, the bare minimum would be that we don't lose that game, right? I think we would still see some of the growing pains that we all talked about here, but I think there should be enough good energy and enough solidity in defense for us to, at least see through it with a draw. Basically, come away from that game with a draw as the bare minimum.
Very interesting because the fixtures get quite hectic here, Mbaye. And it's good to see that he's using a lot of the squad. Obviously, Martinez and Kobe both took their yellow cards. And that means that they're both ruled out of the game on Wednesday, which is going to be very interesting. We don't know if Luke Shaw...
That was embarrassing, man. Lisandro was just... Why are you doing that, bro, man? Like, what? I get the Mainu one, but, bro, Lisandro should know better, man. And that's a big blow, man, because I don't know Luke Shaw, man. He's not match ready, man. Like, as in sharpness, But
Mbaye, Luke Shaw is your boy. Can he step in and help the team?
Yeah.
Early on?
Yeah, I think he can. Luke Shaw's been in the Premier League a long, long time. He's played Arsenal many times. He knows what it's about. And there's a new manager now. So every player is playing for a spot in this team. It's all open. It's too early for me to say this player can, this player can't. I think what I've always felt is watching Zirkzee, that's the one thing I would say is he's not an out-and-out striker. That's more Højlund. I don't even mind Rashford there, but I think Zirkzee's quality really shines when he can link play. He's a wonderful guy to play off of. He's got a very good, intelligent brain. Today, you watch it. He always makes the right decisions, and it was a really good day for him. Arsenal, for me, I wish this would come maybe 5 games down the line. The reason I say that is because it's going to be hard to judge us so early on against the best pressing team in England, in my opinion. And I think you're going to see a very difficult game. It's going to be a really good test for us. They're going to come out the block so fast. And if they press like I've seen them press, I'm going to find out a little bit about this system. I'm not going to take everything from this game because, again, it's the 4th game. And you're talking about a great team that has got everybody back now and is firing again. So that's why I wish it would have come maybe 5-6 games down the line to really be able to gauge it. But I have still, I'm learning. When we get really pressed very, very high and wide, I want to see what we're going to do. That is very interesting to me. I
Yeah.
love the three. I love the three. I've always been a fan of this formation. Some people do it a little bit more defensively. We seem to do it with a good balance, I feel. But this system is susceptible to being exposed through long switches. There's going to be times where the guys that are playing wide, there is space in behind, and you will force our defense to be spread thin. Those three at the back. So it's important. Ugarte is very important for us in the CDM position because he covers ground quickly. So he's going to be a permanent fixture, I feel, in this team going forward. I think we'll see a lot of him for that reason. But yeah, Luke Shaw will come in, and I think Luke Shaw can do a job as the left-sided centre back. He really can, and he's got a good pass as well. Luke Shaw, he's competent passer, man. When you watch him, he's got these nice dinks with his left foot, and that he's a good player. So it's good that we're seeing all these different players, and we saw 16 players today. Can't really say anybody had a shocking game or any. Everybody's is doing their thing. We're learning. He's learning. He's seeing, and it's about getting to the end of the season. Right, this is what we need. This is the player that is we can get rid of, and this is what we can bring in. But so far, like I said, I think the speed at which we have worked is impressive, and the system does not seem to be affected. The fluidity and the positive things that I'm seeing from the team is not affected with the change of personnel. That is such an important thing. This goes back to always us talking about systems. When the word system is used to describe what I believe is you can tell a Man United team because of the way that they play.
Yeah.
That's what I think we mean by system, and that is not changing whether it's Højlund or Zirkzee or this and that. Yeah, you see today in that central CDM role, I think we're starting to understand what we're going to need because of how this system functions. But every other part of the pitch, especially those two guys behind the 10, behind the striker, we've got a really good mix of players. I used to say this one last season. We've got all different types of players, and that is not a bad thing. But now, the fact that you're playing three centre backs, it makes us have an even more stellar squad in terms of the depth and the competition for places. All of a sudden,
it's mad, isn't it? It's mad because we haven't.
Yeah,
Sorry to cut you off there, but Maguire's still there. Lenny Euro's not come back yet. Mason Mount came on today.
And you know what, Said?
Yeah,
I'm not saying play Maguire, bro, but
did you see Mount as the number 8 today? He played number 8.
Maguire is a guy that has looked his best in his career throughout, where he's been
back three for England. Yeah,
back three for England. Central guy.
Good,
bro. He does have a good positional sense if he cuts his shit out, and he'll give us a good aerial. Do you know what I mean? Balls cutting in. So there's all sorts of things going on at United, man. That is very interesting. Still, it's wide open.
Yeah, big up.
But you're about to go now. This is a proper test. You're playing three of the top 6 teams. You got Arsenal, Forest, then City. That's your 3 next games.
Yo, Saeed, have you checked on Big Steve? Is he all right? Is he alive?
Yeah, he's all right, man. He's all right. But I was just cooking LB, man, because LB's one that's doing the reactions out of me, innit? Throughout the Ten Hag reign. So
they were dead. They were dead today.
So
how's LB doing? Is he all right? Is he depressed?
Nah, man. His title of the video was I'm in dead inside or something like that. I feel dead inside. You know what I mean? 4 in a row, and that's how they feel, man. They can't handle it, man.
Wait. It's not 4 in a row, bro. It's more than 4 in a row. It's 6.
No, as in in terms of the last. Yeah. My thing is, just before I go, my thing is, Nordin, guys, that perspective in it. Like we have to be patient. We have to suffer. Right. He knows it as well. Right. Even Ruben Amorim, wallahi, was one point he was looking to bring on Ugarte and Garnacho on. I don't know if you guys seen it, but he was looking to bring them on straight away. And And yeah, man, he's just what I've noticed about him, guys. He's so animated on touch. The guy's up and down, bro. He don't rest. And then what he does is he's actually almost on the pitch, bro. Like, and then the referee has to tell him, "Yo, get back." Like, bro, it's like Simeone, bro. Remember Simeone? Like he reminds me of Simeone on the touchline in terms of not, I mean, animated, but the way he's just so engrossed in the game, bro.
He said it, yeah. He said it's like I'm playing the game. I wish I could go out there with the players.
No, you guys go to the games. I was watching the Ipswich game, and it looked like there was so much going on the touchline. Not just him, everybody was like coming, going, bro. Talking. He's up, down.
The big guy today. So kept saying the big guy get up as well, and the other assistants today. For the first time, I've seen the other assistants talking, you know, on the touchline.
No, we got a set piece coach as well, guys. I don't know if you guys seen, but that Fernandes guy, set piece. I'm not really agreeing with all of this set piece coming out of, you know, his touchline, but I seen him today as well. Yeah, when you should have seen him. He got out of his chair when
he's shouting, screaming.
Shouting, screaming.
Yeah, but the first goal we scored today looked like a set piece goal, like a
Bruno, corner, yeah.
It was. They worked it on training, yeah. Go ahead, before you leave. Go ahead.
I just think for me, man, it's like, you know, we go into the Arsenal game, and obviously we got a couple of days to recover, you know what I mean? But I just think for me, compete in the game, win, lose, or draw, we'll analyze it, but just compete, stay in the game as much as you can. Show that.
Losing, Saeed.
Sorry?
We're not losing.
We're not losing. Okay, then. I like the confidence, man. So I ain't gonna lie. If you gave me a draw right now, I'd take it. Obviously, we want to win the game, but ultimately, it's about the manner, performance, how we lose, how we draw, how we win, and you know what I'm saying. And then we could go from there. You know, what's he saying there, Pep Guardiola? When I was in,
my guy's shameless.
Wow, this is crazy, man. He's lost his head, man.
He's lost his head.
Bro, he's actually lost his head. Bro, my dad gave me away. Nah, that's crazy. That's sad, man. But someone needs to check on this guy, man. Check on him, bro. Nah, genuinely, bro, you need to check on him. It's not even funny, man. Like, he's actually not well, man. It's not well in there.
That scar on his nose is deep. It was still shining today.
Yeah, bro.
Who did you fight with, Saeed? You need to find out from Big Steve.
Bro, Big Steve. I think it's Big Steve in the car park. Big Steve in the car park, I think it was. You know what I mean? And then today they had Barcelona fans in the away end. You know, I don't know what that was about. Do you see that picture of the Barcelona fans? About 10 of them in the away end.
Yeah.
So they say they're not a tourist club. Well, they are. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So, they're the ultimate fucking tourists. Pumped up and cheated by fucking tourists. The tourists fucking pumped them up billions, mate. Yeah. They're the ultimate tourists. They're a small minor club. I told everybody from years ago.
December.
Win or lose or draw, whatever trophies they win, there's still 6 fans and a blind dog, mate.
Yeah.
And Manchester will always be red. We will never be the cowardice as they were today. Never be that cowardice.
Yeah.
And they let Manchester down, bro. Big up to listen, Saeed's going to be live at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm going to be live, guys. I'll big up to everyone here, though, man. Big up to you lot. And man, shout out to the community, man. You know what I'm saying?
Have a good show, bro.
Take care. Love.
I'm tuning in Big Six tomorrow. I can't wait. Tomorrow, mate. Big up.
Believe.
Go ahead, Travis. How did you see the game? Obviously, we're all gassed, we're all excited. But I saw Everton in that first half an hour really cutting the midfield. I mean, actually, at times, their 2 centre-halves were piercing the ball through, and they were coming through the 3 lines. There was no lines. Kobe and Casemiro were confused at times in the terms of where their roles were, and they got in behind. Luckily for us, they got a striker who can't fucking shoot. I kept screaming at the game, thank God you can't shoot. Because if he could shoot, they could have been somewhere. But obviously the goal changed the game. And after that, I thought it was the best second half controlled game at Old Trafford I've seen in the Premier League this season. By an absolute mile. We were the most controlled. We could have scored more goals. We actually took it easy. You can see Amorim saying, no running. Like, the fans were like, and he's telling people to calm down on the ball. But how did you see it? It feels like it wasn't a 4-0, and he even alluded to it in the presser as well. 4-0 might have been a bit harsh, but then I think we could have scored more goals. And I don't care what anybody fucking tells me. That was a fucking penalty on Ahmad. That was the clearest penalty on Ahmad.
We didn't even get to see it in replay.
No, they didn't want to run it in replay. Didn't you? Why? Corrupt body. over there.
Yeah.
Well, let's be generous today. We won 4-0, so I'm not bothered about that last one. But yeah, I'm not going to complain. You know, it was a great game. We all saw it. Just finally, we are looking like a football team. We all see what what Amorim is trying to do. The 3-4-3 is working. I like really what I saw today was how we were able to shift play from one side to the other really quick, because we dragged them over to one side, we played the ball a little bit, and then over to the other side. Usually Ahmad put on Ahmad 1-against-1, and you know that boy, he can run. You know, he's really good carrying the ball. So I would say we had the perfect game plan. What I didn't like was, especially in the first half, I would say up until the 30th minute, we had a huge problem centrally with the double pivot with Mainu and Casemiro. I don't know if you guys have mentioned it, but to say it simple, they were too flat when you play. When you play in a double pivot, you need to be staggered. One has to press and cut passing lanes, the other one has to cover. This is how you play. But when you're too flat, Everton they just cut right through us because we didn't have anyone cutting the passing lane. So Everton were able to pass right through our midfield up until our defense. So we struggled with that, and we saw Everton creating, I would say, 2-3 big chances in that first half, just based on that. So, but I give it to Mainu. I will be generous with him today. He haven't played a game in a long time, so it takes a little bit of time. But Casemiro, he's been on it all the time, so I give the responsibility for this on Casemiro. He should be more vocal and command Kobe Mainu in how he wants him compared to his position. So it's really important. So, but we figured it out. It was better. I think the goal changed the game, the momentum of the game up until the goal. I think it was an even game. We could have been 1-0 down. But when we scored, we took control of the game and started playing really good football. I think, obviously, Ahmad, fantastic footballer. He's good on the ball. He's really fantastic, you know, and his work rate. He's not a luxury player. How Ten Hag figured out to use him as the wing back, I don't know, but we all said he should be the number 10. But I know you see he's really good. So let's just let him develop in this position. I think he could be. Well, the sky is the limit. We all know he could be. He could be our main player for the next 10 years.
What did you think of Zirkzee today?
Yeah, that's interesting. You mentioned Zirkzee, because I was critical to Zirkzee starting today because I haven't seen much from him. But today we saw it. We saw what he's all about. He's dropping down, but it's not only about Zirkzee, because when you have Bruno in one of the 10s, you have a double 10. Bruno understands that he needs to create space for Zirkzee. So when Zirkzee drops down, Bruno moves out. So you create space, so you're not stuck up upon each other, and that's really smart. I don't know if it's Bruno's in-game IQ or if it's Amorim, but that was
Amorim. Amorim was telling him to go left. Bruno stopped more on the touchline today, especially if you watch the first half. It was more on the touchline, making sure coming available. And then Zirkzee was dropping into the hole every time you saw him. He's literally coaching him through the game. Zirkzee shout, Amorim like, Zirkzee, come into that hole, come into that space to get the first touch, to link up. And he kept telling him, like, honestly, like Saeed said, super animated. The most I've seen him animated since, obviously, we watched the game. You know, this has been his 3 games in it, but from the last game, more animated today than he was. And he was telling him he needs to drop more when the ball is on this side. When the ball's on this side, he has to make sure that the ball will be recycled on the other side. And he has to be in position already to drop into that hole to link the play. And we saw that for the goal, one of the goals for Rashford, you know, in the first couple of minutes, he drops into the halfway line, straight away ball, straight to Ahmed, like brilliant technique. Marcus Rashford makes that death run, boom, 3-0. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's good. It's really good observation, Nordin, and I think that was one of the key elements because for our fluid attacking play. Because when Zirkzee can drop down and we can use him, we know how good he is with flicks and keeping it simple, keeping the ball going. But he's creative in a simple way, and what I saw from Zirkzee today was really impressive. You know, I didn't thought he have it in him. We saw it in Bologna, but Premier League is a different animal. The tempo is different, and the centre backs are much more aggressive. So and I'm happy with Zirkzee. I'm happy with Bruno. I like what I saw from Rashford. Even Rashford, he tracked back. He worked hard. He put himself unselfishly in positions. I haven't seen this from Rashford in a long time. So it has to be coaching, as you say. And Amorim being animated on the sideline. You know, we haven't seen it since Jose's day, Jose Mourinho's day, when he used to shout at Luke Shaw, and then that was 2017. We have had Ole with his iPad and Ten Hag just standing there doing nothing. So it's I know it feels strange. Are we living in a dream? This is something going on, and I think we are cooking. We are really cooking now at the moment, and there's not much more to say. I think we control that.
What did you think about Amorim's, Javas? What did you think about Amorim coming out with a comment saying, "I'm actually interested in more about the performance, and I'm interested in results"? Because everybody's like, "Oh, you're 4 points only behind." You know, we moved into 9th tonight. That's where we are now. We're in the top half of the table for the first time in a long time. So. Everybody's trying to put pressure on him, Jarvis, and saying, "Oh, he should finish top 4." He's saying, "No, I'm looking for the performance because we have to put a style of play in because we came in halfway through the season, and that's what he's focused on right now."
Yeah.
That sounds like a manager that's, to me, that's grounded now, right? And that's the thing I like the most about Amorim. His comments, basically, after the match, before the match, he seems like somebody who knows not to get too ahead of himself, knows that the media is basically out to get him, knows that, you know, the fans have a tendency to raise expectations too high and then come crashing down when things don't go our way. So he's managing everybody's expectations, and I love that basically from him. I love the fact that he admitted to being kind of lucky when he was asked about the fact that we scored now 3 matches in the first minute or so. He said, I'm just very lucky. I love to hear that from the manager. I love to hear the manager say that you know, the performance was more important than the 4 goals that we scored, and we need to improve performance. Basically, I'm sure to the players he probably said something else, but I like that to the media and for the fans. That's the message that he's passing across. But yeah, it just sounds like a manager who knows what he's doing and knows how to manage expectations.
He understands he has to do both. He's reiterated this time and time again. You can't simply just do performances. You have to get results as well. But the performances, the improvements in the game itself, the insights, the clarity that we start to digest from watching Manchester United, that has to be a constant theme as we go forward. But he has to win games as well. This is the prerequisite at a club like this. You can't simply say, "I need time. It's coming," and you're languishing in 14th. There's got to be results. There's going to be some bad ones. We accept that, but you've got to do both. And he said that often. So that's the mandate for any manager that comes to any big team.
I like him. I like him because what he says proves that he have a good sense of self-awareness. To the point that I think that he might be a little too humble for his own liking. But he definitely see the thing as a long-term planning, that we are more dependable on performance than on results. What I say when I mean that the system, I like the fact that the system was player friendly, is because that without having to change the formation, he can give just some specific instruction to Rashford and Bruno, and instead of occupying the same space as Zirkzee, now they can stay up in the W, and then Zirkzee can start making his first time passes and flick and open up the game. What I'm interested, the reason I'm thinking about capitalizing on the system in the long term is because I think this first phase of the plan have been executed to perfection. The system is there, and the system is working already weeding out the players, and they are assimilating to it. But in the long term, if we look at what we're trying to do, the reason I'm bringing up the versatility of the players is because of if we want to go up to the next level and face higher opposition, we need to try to hone our tools a little bit more. Zirkzee, for example, is good in what he does, but he still lack the dynamism of Rasmus, for example. Kobe Mino is also is good on the half turn, but he lacks the athleticism of a midfielder that can take the ball under pressure and drive.
What do you mean when you say Kobe Mainu lacks athleticism? Because how I think of it, I don't agree. But can you explain it?
I think of him as a passer first, right? I saw two instances today when he took the ball on the half turn, he pivoted and he had the space in front of him. But if he started driving in the midfield, he won't be able to leave behind. If he have somebody that was marking him, he won't be able to leave him behind. That's why I give the example of like Gravenberg and how do you call it, Phil Foden today in the game of City, when Gravenberg took the ball on a half turn and left Foden behind. So eventually, we're going to need somebody in that position.
So you say you don't have the acceleration needed when he's on the ball to get free from his man.
Exactly.
That's what you mean about the let's.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, then I agree. You don't have that. That's true. That's true.
So I'm just looking at the system as a whole, and I'm very excited. I believe in the long term, football is moving away from specialist and positional players and moving more to players that are versatile. Because if we look at Arsenal, for example, good thing that we're playing them on Wednesday. I went back and watched the game they play against Sporting Lisbon. Even though Sporting Lisbon players are more versatile than our players, they still manage to literally pass them off the park. And the reason for that is not just Arsenal's press, it's the versatility of Arsenal. If we look at Arsenal's team, we can take 4 players in that team in the front that can occupy, they can play literally anywhere on the pitch. If you look at Odegaard, Havertz, Saka, Odegaard, Havertz, Saka, and Trossard, or you look at Calafiori can invert easily. Partey can play as a right back. You know, they have so many versatile players, and that allowed them to literally occupy any position on the pitch. Wherever they end up on the pitch, they're comfortable in the triangle and they're comfortable keeping the ball. And that's where I think football is going. That's why I think at the end of the day, we should start moving away from position players and specialist players, maybe 1 or 2 at the most. Like Lisandro is very good. His passing range is very good. And I believe he occupies a key position in the team. And that cannot be changed, you know. Yes, a 6 that can take the ball half turn and drive into the midfield is also a specialist player in this league. It's a requirement in this league. But now, everywhere else, we need to be able to have versatile players, not specialist players, so that we can maximize this system.
It's going to be very interesting. Big up Zay Miyati says Nuruddin will cook you at the Emirates. We'll see on Wednesday, innit? We'll see.
Say.
Yeah, I'm not cooking shit, Zane.
Listen, the pressure is on you boys. You're going for a league title. We're just starting a journey with a new manager, and it's been 3 games in. Like Bombay said, I wish we were playing you 10 games in, then we would have seen. But it is what it is. People, listen, we need 60 more likes or 50 more likes. So come on, let's go. Let's go, people.
One thing I like about this Amorim system, at least from my small observation these past 3 games, it looks like it creates chances. It looks like for sure we're gonna get a couple of high quality.
I made a video on Monday. I'm telling everybody, not all our forwards are washed. It's just that the team's not been structured to play in a structured way to create chances, and you see it. 3 strikers have scored 2 goals each, 6 goals in the last 3 games.
Yeah,
you know what you can see. You can see in the comments, people's appetite for Manchester United is back. I think Wendy's a good example of that. It's a
Big up,
nice,
Wendy.
fresh take. I'd just say I don't think Kobe Minu is somebody as prominent currently as he was for Eric Ten Hag. Under Eric Ten Hag's system, he was
He played way too much football
and
for me.
in
which is a
and
good thing, right? Yeah.
He needs to
no,
be rested.
I know he did play, but that aside, looking at him as a player, um, I don't think that he's a guaranteed starter in this team. Not for me anyway. Not at the moment. That we have way too many
He's been
options
out
for
for a
him to
month
be.
and a bit, so.
Not because of that. I'm saying we all know him as a player. I don't think he's a guaranteed
I
starter
actually
in
think
this
he's
team.
better in the number 10. I believe he's better in the number 10.
There's
I
a
have
lot
a,
of
I have
there's
a,
a lot of competition for that 10 has got the most competition there. You've got so much
Well, I
competition.
believe he's more better up the pitch. I think the way he turns and the
And
way
I'd say also about Mason Mount, I think Mason Mount could do what Ahmad is doing on the right, on the left.
he has to stay fit though.
I can see him filling that spot as well, playing there.
He has to see if he can stay fit.
I have a question for the panel.
No,
Would
one
any
second.
of us-
We're gonna answer this one. 1 second, bro. I appreciate you. 1 second. Big up Man UFC Realist. Big up Mick. He says question. Jose was a Ruben the right one. Well, so far he said he's the right one. Yeah. How do you
Love
feel?
it.
Well, Manchester United have scored 4 goals under Ten Hag. We've never scored 4 goals in a league game at Old Trafford.
Time will tell, man. Time will tell.
Too
Do you know,
early, yeah, too
our
early.
our
Early
scrap
days.
heap is high and not piled with journeymen. We're talking about high level quality coaches and a good variety of coaches. You had David Moyes' continuity. You had the big man that has won it all, Van Gaal, Mourinho.
Yeah,
Then
but
you had
Bumaye,
organic from
this is the right
Oli.
one.
Then you went and got Eric Ten Hag, the new progressive, we want sexy football guy. Here's another one. So far, so good. But man, we've been on this carousel many, many times. We start like this, and the fact that Amorim is talking in this way, yeah, don't flatter yourselves. 4-0, but he's keeping them on their toes. There's lots we have to improve.
No,
There's
but
lots of shit going
that's the
on.
part
That's
that gives
good.
me
That's
confidence
good.
now. No, Bumaye. It's the way he talks and decision making. So I mean, you would expect that managers would
Yeah,
have ups and downs. That's a
sure,
given. But
sure,
the quality of decision making, right? The bravery to rotate the squad, the
sure.
idea that you want to get everybody behind you. So there's no such thing as a first 11 and second 11. We are a squad of 22 players who are all professionals, and anytime you're called upon, you have to be able to deliver. It seems like every single game, Amorim is going to use all his subs, 4 or 5 subs. And to do that, you're going to need everybody to be motivated to work hard for you. So yeah, no, I totally believe in him being the right one.
I
Luan, if you want
think
to ask a
I
question.
think Sean, that 4 and 5 subs every game will calm down a little bit. Right now, today, the conditions were right for that to happen. The game was pretty much killed. We were in control. Bring some fresh legs, rotate, give rest. And obviously, you're trying to get this team to fire at a much higher level every single game than they have been accustomed to. So that needs them to have some downtime in games. You can't push them all the way, otherwise, I think you're going to get injuries. But so far, like I say, man, brilliant. I'm really happy. So good. But we have been down this road many times, haven't we?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
So 6 months time, maybe we're back here, and then we're
exactly.
no, he's not the guy. I don't want that because we're all falling in love again with him
I
quickly.
I don't trust the players. I don't trust the players.
Valid point.
I will never trust these players. I don't trust a lot of these players.
Sean, I ain't raining on the parade. I'm right there with you, bro.
What,
But I
I'm
don't
saying is
want
that
to.
what I'm
It's
saying
like
is
a
that it's the
guy
manager's job.
that,
It's the
that,
manager's
that
job to
falls in
keep.
love, bro, and gets hurt every
It's
time.
the
No,
manager's job to keep the
he's
players
saying all the
accountable.
good things. He's saying all the right things.
Yeah.
For
And
now,
we
but
do.
it's up to the players, isn't it? We have to see. Big
No,
up,
but it's
Femi
not just
Akston.
about the
You beat
players now.
Everton and
No.
a pop team from Norway. One thing I agree with you, Zane. I thought the poorest team we faced this season at Old Trafford was Leicester, but Everton second half they gave up. They threw the towel in the second half.
I mean, but let's not do this now. Before this
That's
game,
the
Everton
truth.
had lost one.
No,
Everton had
no,
lost
but,
1 in 8. Every team that we beat now is a bad team. Every team that
no.
United beats
Everton.
now is
I
because they
agree.
were a
I
terrible
agree
team.
with Sean on this one, though. Everton is an established Premier League team. They've been in the league since 1992, never been relegated. They look bad because we made them look bad. That's what I think. So, but talking about Amorim, I believe that he's saying the right thing. He's doing all the right thing. and the players are responding very well. But the Premier League is a funny old league, you know. We don't know how it's going to be 2-3 weeks down the road.
Bro, look
We
at City.
might be
Did you
having a
see
different
this?
conversation.
Did anybody see Man City like this? Fifth.
Yeah,
They're
you know,
fifth
no,
now.
I have.
Do you
Yeah,
know what I
I
mean?
have.
Yeah, I
have.
did as well now.
Well,
Yeah, back
listen,
in the
big
days.
teams can do a
And-
burnout. Big
and
teams
you know
can have
the-
a burnout, and all of it can go. The confidence can go. Yeah, especially
And you
when
know
you
the
meet somebody
funny
like
thing?
Rodri.
The funny thing is that we're still sitting here trying to write them off. And we still know they are the one, and maybe the one of 2 or 3 teams in the league that are capable of going on a 10-game winning streak. And then we're having a different conversation.
Yeah,
Mm,
but I just don't want to see Liverpool win the league, mate. I'd rather have Arsenal win the league all day,
Yeah,
every day.
I think I'm coming around to Chelsea. Chelsea might be the best of all the enemies. If Chelsea can find a way to win, I think that would be the most that would be the Switzerland of all the options, essentially. I wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
My question to the panel was, have you guys could you guys say with confidence that we're able to move the ball through midfield so far?
No.
Depends what you mean. Depends what you mean about moving the ball into the midfield, because we move the ball through midfield, but we're not moving it upwards. We're moving it sideways.
Okay.
So that's the thing, and we're moving the
ball.
ball through the midfield sideways. But today we struggled when I talked about Kobe Mainu and Casemiro being too flat. We also struggled not just defending, but we also struggled when we were trying to build up. Because when you're too flat, you don't have a passing option. We didn't have a link-up player in between our number 6s and number 10s. So if one of them can't do the role as a number 8 and move up the pitch, we don't have a passing option when it comes to that. So we were always forced to play the ball outside, back, or wait for Zirkzee to drop down. So there's a lot of improvements, but I think we have more dynamic midfield when we have a player like Ugarte, and actually Bruno is in the number 8, because Bruno will always roam up and be available. So that's the thing.
Big up Bodo Glim. Happy for them. So happy, wonderful fans, and not many of them.
The reason for that question is because I'm thinking about the fact that this is the Premier League, and evidently everybody adapt. If we come against a back 5 where they decide, because most of our creativity comes from the wing right now, we come up against a back 5 that decide they're gonna lock the wings, or we come against a 4-4-2 low block, right, where they're very good at closing the passing lane, like Arsenal on Wednesday. Do you think we'll do well?
No, I don't think we're set in midfield yet. I think we're going to need somebody who's technical ability, who can get the ball, somebody like Supermendi, who can get the ball from the back 3 and step into the midfield, step into that, sometimes step alongside the centre halves to get the ball going. We still need that. I believe we still need that, because we're going to try to be a more possession team. But people, we need 50 more likes on the video to get to 200. Let's go. We're not as fluent yet. We still haven't got the physicality to stay with a lot of teams. The midfield has not been. We're going to be coming up against a team that you talked about who play 5 at the back, and Nottingham Forest. We're playing them very soon. So we'll know a lot more. We'll know a lot more very soon. But at the end of the day, like I said, we can't judge Amorim and his system right now. To me, it's when I start judging him, it's the beginning of next season. That's when I start judging him, because by then you should know who plays where.
But we can't judge Amorim and this team on their progression. We see a clear style of play right now, and we keep possession not for possession's sake. We keep possession to drag the opposition out, and we also do other things to drag the centre backs out. Today we saw Zirkzee dropping down. Both Rashford and Bruno, they move up a little bit and then drop down to drag the defender with them. They are almost like magnets, dropping up into their defense and going down again to drag them out, create space. And when they do, as I said, we saw today. Let me just show you on the tactical board. I know this is boring, but I have to do it anyway. So here you go. This is the sometimes you saw Zirkzee dropping down, dragging let's say one defender with them. Let's say if you drop down on Rashford's side, Rashford moved out and when Rashford moved out, Diallo could move up.
Go, yeah.
So there was like a triangle of movements, like a domino, and we did it on both sides. And when Zirkzee dropped down, let's say on Bruno's side, Bruno moved out, Ahmad moved a little bit higher up the pitch, and were available. So it was beautiful to see, and the space in behind. Everything we do is about getting that space in behind. Sometimes when Rashford moves up and is with the center back, he makes a little movement, drop down, and then he has created space for himself to run into. So this is what I like to see.
Ian McDonald has put a comment in there that I think is quality. Michael Carrick next to Ugarte in a team like this.
Yeah.
Wow, what a player!
So that's what I mean by like the system that
bro. I can't believe you still not clocked this one, man. One of the best deep line midfielders to ever play in Premier League football. Unbelievable player.
Mate. Some people loved him.
No.
I appreciate
people came late to that party. I promise you, they didn't realize, man.
When we had that, I love Hargreaves. I always got, and I was gutted when Hargreaves got injured and was never the same again.
Oh,
remember when Carrick played the game was less athletic than it is today. Today you have a lot more. The game is a little bit faster, and people carry the ball a little bit more. So those passing lanes that were existing and in those times might not exist in today's game. These guys are good at shuffling. They have mastered the art of playing the 4-4-2 and shuffling left and right and closing the passing lane. So not a knock at Michael Carrick. He was one of the best passers. And England never recognized that, of course, and it cost them.
England, man, let themselves down. Scholes and Carrick to make way for shit that did not work. Those two guys, how one of them did not play centrally is beyond me. I don't know what they were doing.
Is anybody still cool with the experimentation of Diallo at wingback, or we've seen enough at this point? He looked like
he looks like
he's an Amorim favorite. He started quite a few games now.
Who's that?
Diallo.
Yeah, at the first half he was. But to me, he's another player that's played a lot of football. He played a way too much football. And I hope that he gets rested and he gets taken out.
One thing Amorim said,
there was a little bit of struggle in the time where Everton were on top. There was about space of 7 to 10 minutes where they were on top. And he was getting caught on the ball a lot. And it was a lot worrying in the stadium. But yeah, obviously he likes him because he's got energy. He's usually press resistant, can get out of positions. But when he's fatigued, it's very difficult to judge him. Defensively, sometimes he's very questionable as well. But he's got loads of good attributes. People, we did 40 more likes for the video. We deserve it. Manchester United don't win 4-0.
You know,
we've not done it for 2.5 years nearly. So let's go, people.
I asked the question about Sporting Lisbon because I don't know anything about that team, whether Amorim was using midfielders wide or more defensive players. I think I'm not sure I can't remember who gave me the answer and what the answer was. But Amorim said he was asked that same question, and he said, no, we're going to start in the interest of it's the beginning of this, it's the beginning of this process. We're going to look at more defensive type players to begin with, but that could change into more midfielders. So I think for now, Diallo is a safe bet. As you say, Dino, the energy is there. The final quality is not always there, though. So if the system really kicks into gear when everyone knows what they're doing, you might see a midfielder be favoured on the left side, like Ahmad is being favoured on the right.
Yeah.
Because I think Jarvis made a good analysis there when he showed you the screen. We're going to be quite a difficult team to contain and pick up. And it's not all about playing through teams here. If those runs in that we talked at the beginning of the show, we've seen it now. Martinez, as Morani was saying at the beginning, bro, he's finding from nowhere and the opposition are being lost. Bruno found his way playing on the crest. Free. Martinez found him today. Diallo, he's being found. These late runs not picked up from the effectively win back. You know what I mean? Balls over the top. So this is a great thing to have in this team. It's not all about just playing and the opposition being able to see clearly what we're doing. There's ghost runs being made and they're getting found. Against Ipswich, they were found. Today, they were found. But it's about that last quality. So for now, yeah, I get it. Safe bet, defensive brain, stuff like that. Energy is majorly important for that part. But I think you could see that end up with a midfielder in the hands of a midfielder, that position. And I promise you, I think Mason Mount could do that job. Because for Chelsea, man, some of his best work, especially in his early years there when he burst onto the scene, was coming off of the left, cutting in and some bagging goals.
As a number 10, you mean? Left as a number 10?
No. I'm talking about that wing back type. Yeah, that wing back type position. It's not what he did for Chelsea, but he played as a left wing forward for Chelsea in a lot of games. And he's got the energy to get up and down and the tenacity.
He does. I thought he did a little cameo today. He came on and he did a little cameo in the midfield, bit more energy, connecting. He's quite comfortable with the ball. He's
so interesting, this team.
Well, see, to me, I can't talk about players like him and Shaw because they'll be injured next fucking game. So I don't get hyped about it. If they stay fit till the end of till January, then we might have a conversation for them to talk about them. I only talk about the players who stay fit, really. I don't want to talk too much about the rest of the players. Question for the panel: thoughts on Zirkzee, Rasmus can play together in the system? I think they can. They can. I thought today was under Amorim was his best game. Zirkzee's best game. I thought the way he connected certain things was really good, really sharp. But not even that, how he occupied the two, Tchaikovsky and Braithwaite. And by the way, Braithwaite did not look great today.
No. I was going to ask about that.
Terrible game.
So if we play Zirkzee and Rasmus together, that means one of either Rashford or Garnacho or Bruno will be on the bench. Who will be on the bench at that point? Bruno will not be on the bench because he's a captain.
You're gonna have to put Bruno on the bench sometimes. You're gonna have to, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. But I agree when it comes to Braithwaite. We dodged a bullet. Oh my God, we dodged a bullet on that one. It was about 65 million.
So it's just one game, though. One game.
They were trying to rip us off. But
a friend of mine in the stadium was saying to me, he's doing it on purpose so that we can get him on the cheap.
Yeah, he scored his first goal.
That was his audition, bro.
Yeah, listen, he scored his first goal. He got a goal in his first Manchester United goal today. He put it in the bottom corner, mate, middle of the goal. Big up to Ashley Young, by the way. When he went off, he got a really a reception.
Great career,
really
top pro.
Old Trafford. Yeah, top. He still looks like he's still got the same hairline, by the way. It looks like a figure like from a character from Toy Story. Still looks the same.
He's not even getting old, this guy.
He's nearly 40 now, 38, 39, something like that.
Wow.
Well, I would say as Amorim is getting to know his players and his players are getting to know the system, we can say that there is a relationship that's building between them, I would say, right? But we can all agree that Ten Hag needed to go because the basketballization of football, like you coined it, was a real thing, right? It's the first time that we have a 4-0 win, and at any point in time, we didn't think we were losing control of the game. It wasn't like a back and forth thing. So, and the second thing is that the fact that Ahmad couldn't get a game on the Ten Hag was what's still puzzling me until now. I know we'll be talking about it. But
it's criminal, man. It's
criminal. Anthony Dino is not
Anthony.
You see, Anthony, bro, is not Amorim's player, so there's no pressure on Amorim to make any use of him now. Whereas Ten Hag paid that money on his watch, so he had to try and justify it or get something out of him. Because that's an expensive mistake. I mean, what could you get for a player like now?
I actually think, I'm not going to lie to you. I might give you some early team news, but I actually think Anthony might play against Arsenal. And Ahmad might be rested.
Possible. But you know, if like Nuruddin say, Ineos was willing to pull the trigger on Ten Hag earlier, right, doing in summer, maybe Jadon Sancho wouldn't be at Chelsea. Maybe, I don't know, Mason Mount wouldn't be wearing a United jersey, and maybe it will be 40 million or 45 million more to spend on to improve the team. But
Yeah, good.
it is what it is, right?
Possibly.
Listen, we can go on all day, all night. Go ahead,
No,
Jarvis.
I have one last thing. I just want to show you, because I think we haven't spoken about this enough. Because what happens really is we always talk. You always talk about us being left-sided, Nuruddin, but that's on this side of the pitch. But actually now we are left-sided on this part of the pitch, because when we play out, we usually have the three centre backs. We have the wing backs on here, so we play it like a horseshoe shape, from one side to the other side. But we see a lot of these players. Oh, it's on the wrong side. See a lot of these players dropping down into this area, and Martinez and Diallo actually is quite important into this role. Casemiro drops down, makes himself available. Bruno drops down, makes himself available. Same with Zirkzee. And what happened when we do this, and we keep possession, not by keeping possession for possession's sake, but to drag the opposition. So we drag the opposition on to this side to create space, because we have one guy who likes space and can run with the ball. We all know who that is. That's Ahmad. So when we do this, we usually play the ball into the middle, maybe to Mainu, and then to Ahmad. And then we have two runners, Ahmad carrying the ball, Rashford supporting him. So we did that a lot of the time. And actually, if you see the heat maps from the game, this is the heat maps. This is the heat map of those four players that I mentioned: Martinez, Diallo, Casemiro, Fernandes, and Zirkzee. And you see we are left-sided, not up here, but up here, down here. And we drag the opposition up, and they are really doing a good job. And when you
but we need to find somebody who's good enough to be able to switch the play quickly.
Once we
put teams in, at times we take our time, and then we find him when it's too late. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
By that time,
I know what you mean. I agree. But I just want to say, when you add Diallo here and Rashford, you can see it. You see here, we play here, go over here, and then we move up here. So actually,
I don't know if you guys remember with Mikael Silvestre. Sometimes the centre, he was to me, he was the best switch player, the best on his left foot. He used to be able to switch the play.
Yeah, but it's not only about the switch, Nordin. It's about attracting opposition, attracting them, moving one. We are manipulating the opposition team to one side.
Of course.
And we talked about Ten Hag was trying to do this, but we couldn't do it because we couldn't keep possession. We weren't able to do this, but now suddenly we are able. But we are doing it down on the pitch, not high up on the pitch.
100%.
And that's the difference.
I agree. But to get the full benefits of Ahmad in that position, we need somebody then to open their body up and to hit a diag. We need that. The quicker the one you can play. I mean, Zirkzee showed
it's not all about the diagonal. It's about getting it into the midfield and then moving it to the right.
100%. And Zirkzee, actually, the Rashford third goal showed it perfectly. Everything what you said. The ball is on that side. Zirkzee's on that side. Rashford is right close where Ahmad is. And the ball comes, the space is there. And all in one movement, one touch, Zirkzee finds him. And then Rashford makes that 5-yard space run. And Ahmad, just the timing of the pass. Perfect to be hit first time. And the goal happened.
I agree. And this is a tactic. We will see more of this. Under Amorim all the time.
We will see. And I hope that we can get better players who can get out of trouble, who can manipulate the ball and beat one or two players and get Ahmad on the go, or get the left-sided player out of there. Because for Sporting, that's what they do. They had the really, really good number 10s who basically suck, whether they come in centrally or they go out, play combination, and then they hit that ball out wide. But you need guys who can manipulate the ball quickly and can be able to take people on quickly. Because the better you want that, the more you can isolate. And that time the game's done.
That's why I think Bruno is best operated as a number 8 in this Amorim system, because he's one of the guys who actually can get that pass over to the other side.
Panel. You see, my question with this, the system as demonstrated right now is that the Premier League is good at making adjustment, right? Do we have a scenario? Do we have a scenario in which we can do the same thing on the left side, so we can avoid being just right side heavy when it comes to this? Because once they make their adjustment, they figure out that our dangerous player is on the other side, and we structure the system to give him space to operate, they're going to compensate for that. So
yeah. Teams will know. Teams will know. I mean, today you saw a perfect example of it. Man City game, Doku. As soon as Doku came on, the midfielder dropped. The winger there on that side drops. Like the centre half goes out wide to help Alexandra Trent. You know what I mean? Trent Alexandra. Help him so that Doku can beat one, but he can't beat 3-4 at the same time. Yeah. And that's what happens. But Liverpool City didn't have the player to switch the ball again to Savinho on a one-on-one with against Henderson. They didn't. Yeah. They didn't have that player who can quickly get out of that situation, get the ball to Doku, and then whip it across to isolate, Savinho with
and Arnie Slot reacted right away and subbed on Trent Alexander-Arnold and moved in.
Bought on a fresh player, bought on a more of a centre half, more of a physicality guy to bully Doku. That's what it is. But guys, we can talk about this all day and night. Big up to everybody. Jamie Wayne, I think the question you asked about Anthony, Amorim is the type of attitude, it's up to the player, is how bad you want it. That's what he said. How bad any of these players want it, then you can coach. But you can't do the things for them. He can't do everything for them. They've got to want it to improve. But people, please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Hit that like button because the channel is shadow banned and because we shout for Palestinian, for the Lebanese. We shout for the people who are oppressed. We shout against colonization. We shout against imperialism. We shout against the industrial military complex and the corporations who are ruining it. But I just wanted to quickly talk about, big up to the people that came on the protest. Tomorrow, maybe I'll do a video. Hopefully, I'll try to insert the video that I took of the protest today and maybe share and talk about the protest. But the chant from the stadium and outside the stadium is 66, you're taking the piss. So they want to charge 66 quid for kids, disabled, and anybody who wants to go and get a match day ticket. 66 quid. So they're saying 66, you're taking the piss. And they were thinking, we know who you are. We know who you are. You greedy bastards, we know who you are. That's the chance we have to take away from the game today. But I might be able to show it quickly. Let me see if I can show it quickly, people. Let me see if I can show this quickly. Because a lot of people might have tagged me in some stuff. So let me see if the videos are there. There you go. I told them, I've been telling them about Jim Radcliffe for a long time on this channel. And big up to the therapy army who saw it, who never got fully taken in by Jim the Rat. But here it is. Big up to those people. I told everybody about them. I told everybody about Ineos and what they're up to. So big up to everybody. Jim Radcliffe's a cunt. Jim Radcliffe's a cunt. Jim Radcliffe's a cunt. Jim Radcliffe's a cunt. Just like the Rangers. Jim Radcliffe's a cunt. Jim Radcliffe's a cunt. Jim Radcliffe's a cunt. Jim Radcliffe's a cunt. Just like the Rangers. Jim Radcliffe's a cunt. Jim Radcliffe. I think you've heard them loud and clear, people. You've heard them loud and clear.
Big protest, bro. Word from Uncle Rocco. This is not so nice, you know.
Well, he is. He's a cunt, mate. He's a fucking rat, mate. That's what he is. For me, for the game to stay. And now, in the time of cost of living crisis in the UK,
it's a lot. It's a lot of money. £66. It really
is asking people to pay that much. Yeah, it's asking people to pay that much. So big up to those, but big up to this channel for again seeing the future, see what's coming. We never bought into this because anybody who facilitates, and remember, I told you it was a sack of shite when he said to you, "I'm not here to make money." Remember that when he told the supporters groups, when he told them, "I'm not here to make money," and all those journalists who are from Manchester, who work for the Athletic and all these other places. Your silence is fucking deafening. Your silence is deafening. It's deafening.
There are
Deafening.
always two kind of millionaire. The one that launder money and the one that squeeze money. We'll figure out which one we have. You know.
This guy does both.
There you go. Big up to everybody, though. Please smash a like, those of you on your way out. I just want to say big up to Jarvis, Bowley 77. Big up Bodo Glint for winning their league today. Their fans were wonderful. It was lovely to meet them. Some of them actually stayed over, and some of them were at today's game as well. Some of them watched the game again today. We saw some of them wearing their...
A lot of United fans in Norway. A lot of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So we saw some of them in the stadium. So make sure tomorrow night you tune in 9 o'clock. Jarvis Cocker, Bowley 77.
Yes, please
Make sure you check him out at Bowley 77. Make sure you check out at Marwan Luwani 1979 on Twitter. Bumbaye, you'll never see him anywhere else. Big up to Black Rain, brother Lesso. I hope you're well. Not heard from him today. I hope he's well. I hope everything's all good. Big up to Bumbaye for always coming on, making us laugh.
My pleasure. My pleasure, man.
Merchants on here. Big up to every one of you. But yeah, hopefully we'll be doing a video tomorrow talking about more about what's happening, what they're doing to the club, man, and why it's so difficult right now for people to be able to afford that amount of money. It's crazy.
You say kids, children, £66.
66 pounds. Match day, disabled bet, £66. Yes, Bumbaye, you heard me. Wow. So if you're a mother or a father, you've got two, 3 kids, you're taking them to a game. Good night, Vienna. What are you looking at? 300 quid.
So so a seat basically is £66, irrespective of whose ass is on it.
That is crazy.
Yes,
crazy. That is crazy. So much looking for the future generation of fan, huh?
Yes,
these guys, man.
Listen, guys, love and light. Hopefully, see the video tomorrow. Make sure you all watch the video. I'm gonna be recording tomorrow. Love and light. Look after yourselves. Big up to Sean as well. At Sean, make sure at Sean.
Yeah, big up Sean, man.
Sean Thomas, and make sure you check out his geopolitical podcast. It's called How We See Things. Right.
Bareback Sir Jim from Alien Tenor.
He's a bastard, mate.
That's bad news, Jim. Man.
Come on. The billionaires. The cheapest ticket at the NFL is 100. See, that's what I'm saying. They want to Americanize the fucking English football people. I said it. Big up, love and light, people. Look after yourselves. Make sure Man UFC Realist TV 9 o'clock tomorrow night. Jarvis Corner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Take care. Love and light.
Good night, guys.
Good night.